So it's really important that you build a culture of risk taking in your school, and children do it all the time. I mean, we ask children to be risk takers, and they get out there and try new things, and so we'd like that to be for our staff as well, to try and take risks. And it's up to people who have more knowledge in Te Reo Māori and Tikanga Māori to actually help and support and make people feel good about trying things themselves.
And one thing I like that's just started happening a lot in our school is that in the morning you'll see someone and you'll say morena or kia ora, and previously, you know, people might have felt quite worried about saying that, but now they're willing to take that risk and say kia ora back or morena. And the other thing is that, you know, sometimes some teachers find it really hard to pronounce some of the words, and it's our jobs is to make sure that we don't correct them. You know, if we just model back the right way, that's way more, you know, beneficial than saying, actually, you haven't said it right, because instantly that person thinks, oh, I'm not going to try that, I'm not going to take another risk and try that.
Just going on from what you said, Marie, about not overcorrecting people and giving people a kia ora or morena in the morning, all those things create a very sort of safe environment for other staff and children to try things. And risk taking, you know, to take a risk, you really have to one step outside your comfort zone, but feel like you can. And so I feel like us as staff, we feel very confident within each other and also confident in front of our children to actually do so and try new things. And that comes from sharing resources or going out and looking for specific things and saying to each other, hey, I've got this, do you want to try it in your room? And I feel like by being provided with those resources as a first year, that really takes a load off, and I can just go into my room and give it a go.
Have you noticed at school lately, though, that when you ask somebody, kei te pihia koe, people are answering? And now I've even noticed some of our office staff are doing the same, and they're using lots of different, I think people are having a little competition to see who can come up with lots of different ways of answering that question. It's been really, really neat to see that. So what are you guys doing in your classrooms to actually encourage this, and maybe how are you getting that out to your syndicates, you know, and supporting each other in syndicates?
For me, I'm making sure as a first year, because the first thing that we often do is think, okay, what are our routines going to be? So I thought, what part of my day, my regular routine, can I incorporate some Māori in there? So with the role, you know, kia ora is how we say the role. How you say that you're present, we will say kia ora. Then we'll do a whakatauki of the day or whakatauki of the week. And I also get the kids to elaborate on the whakatauki, like what does it mean to them, how does it relate to our school vision, or how could we show this whakatauki in our actions and in our words. And yeah, just little bits of te reo throughout the day that normalise it and get the kids using it in their everyday conversations.
In my class, I'm the same. I have kupu o te rā, which is word of the day, and children have to try and use that kupu 5 times with each other in context. And like you said, Jamie, you know, you've asked if you could have that resource, and I know that other teachers have asked if they could also have that. So that's great. They're on board. They're willing to give that a go. I also have whakatauki o te wikia, so Māori proverb of the week. When we have birthdays in the classroom, we don't just sing it in English, we sing it in Māori, and we clap in Māori with the numbers. All my reading, writing and maths groups, they all use Māori names. I guess you can find any way to use it. You know, Te Reo Māori can be used in all the time, you know, depending on your confidence. And kids, they're just saying it all the time now because it's just ingrained in the classroom.
I think in the past sometimes we've been caught up with this whole, if I put labels on things, it's window dressing. If I say kia ora, it's lip service. But actually, it's a wonderful start. It's the place to start. Start small, and small things add up to big things.
Yeah.
So anything that you can do in your classrooms helps, because those types of things are showing that you as a teacher, and remembering that we're role models for these children in our schools, you as a teacher value Te Reo Māori, and in turn value tikanga Māori. So all of these small things are really well worth it.
kids are coming to school and they're saying those sorts of things to their parents as well, and parents are coming and saying, wow, my kid said your kupu o te rā today, and so it's rubbing off also into their whānau and the wider community, which is what we want, is we want those partnerships between school and home, and that's really, really rubbing off, which is fantastic.
It is. One other thing that I really wanted to just have a chat about as well was the concept of whakamā. And there isn't really, somebody asked me about this the other day, what exactly is it? And I really struggled to find an English word that means the same, and I don't think you can. What do you girls think?
I would say it's a combination of feeling like you have to go into yourself, not that there's one English word for that. So it's a loss of confidence towards something, or a loss of trust towards something. And I not only see whakamā come from my Māori students, but also my, lots of different students come with whakamā to school, or something happens at school which makes them feel whakamā. And one thing I'm doing in my first year is to make sure that I have a relationship with those children that allow me to have one-on-one conversations with them that happens away from the other students, where they can feel that they can communicate what is happening in their lives or what is happening in their heads. And I find that really helps to open them up again, and sort of reintroduces them back into the activity or whatever's happening in the classroom.
Yeah, I guess I see it as that shame word, or feeling shy, and like you said, Jamie, we need to do this with all students, but we need to make all students feel proud of their heritage, whether or not they're Māori or European or any culture. And we need to make sure that there's not those negative dispositions about Māori students or Pākehā students, vice versa. We want children to feel proud of themselves and their heritage and upbringing.
And I think sometimes teachers can fall into the whole trap of the whole look at me when I'm talking to you. Well, a lot of our children, that's very disrespectful, particularly if they're feeling quite whakamā. They will look down. They don't want to be looking at you straight in the face. It's a really good idea to get alongside your students at that moment, and just that's where your positive relationships, that's where all the hard work that you've put in to get those positive relationships with the children really comes into play then, and that way you can actually help and support them.
And it's about knowing every single child in your class,
and where they're from, and what they love, what their passions are, what their strengths are, what their challenges are, everything.
My top tip is building positive relationships with all learners. So that means daily informal conversations, asking them how their whānau are, asking them how they're going at school, getting to know them, what are their favourite subjects, what are their weaknesses, and how can you help them. Even little things matter. What is their favourite food? You really need to start building a picture of what makes your learners tick, and that often comes from all their interests and their likes and their hobbies, and just really getting to know them through conversation.
My top tip is little and often. So get in there, just start with what you know, and little bits all through the day actually does make a difference. All the little bits that you do during the day, incorporating te reo Māori and tikanga Māori into your classroom, really does add up to a big thing, and you're showing your students, your whānau, that you respect and that you value tikanga Māori.
So my top tip is take a risk, give it a go. What have you got to lose? You've got nothing to lose, but your children have everything to gain.
Let's run this one. Yeah, someone chipped down on accident. They knocked it off the table. It's actually drink. It looks like this one actually in it, eh? But it's not. Alright, so which one's this?
Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga, kia mākina ki uta, kia mātaratara ki tai. E hi ake ana te ātākura he tio, he huka, he hauhunga, haumi e, hui e, tai ki e.